गर्लफ्रेंड को सिर्फ हाँ ही बोलना है, ये उधर से स्टार्ट होता है बिकॉज इट्स लाइक अर्ली स्टडीज। तो वहां से जब आप फाइनली मैरिड हो चुके ना, आपको हाँ हर चीज में बोलना पड़ता है। तो पहले से आदत डाल दोगे तो बाद में मुश्किलें नहीं आएंगी लाइफ में। सो इफ यू थिंक, मेरा एक और फेवरेट लाइन है, मेरी वाली अलग है। इस बात पे सारे हंसते हैं, बट I think the beauty is once you get married or if you're in a relationship for a long time, you start understanding each other. A lot of times you know what's going to happen. So in my case, in my house, I know when something is going to fall because Sakshi is moving around which table. And it happens. And that's where the relationship goes, So we have been married for now 14 years, 2.5 years of dating, and you know the ins and outs. The wife will know how to irritate the husband. The husband will know what question is coming. And another one of the good advice is, somebody asked me, okay, in a relationship, when the lady asks a question, what should you reply? So it starts with, you have to be honest, you have to say the truth and everything. Once you get married and after 5, 10, 15 years, you answer so that the next question doesn't come. Right and wrong is not important. Next question shouldn't come. Otherwise, it keeps on coming. And another thing is, when you ask one of your friends, they'll be like, my wife also asks the same question. So basically, the faces are different, the questions are the same. And whatever I have said, it is actually 100% applicable on the man also. We also commit the same mistakes. We are also irritating. We love to pull the leg, but at the same time, we are not very good when it comes to accepting the jokes on us. So I think that's why, it's a perfect combination. And the essence of marriage is, after 50, 55, you have kids, the kids go to maybe a college or a hostel. And that's the time you are just with, with your wife, and you're having whatever that companionship, and you talk about the times that have gone by. So the essence will come later, but you have to survive the marriage till then, to enjoy marriage.
आपने कहा कि the men also commit mistakes and they are irritating. तो आप में कौन सी qualities आपको लगता है कि your wife finds irritating about you?
Well, I think most of the things that I do irritates her. That's what relationships are for. So a lot of things happen. I don't know what. So generally, we don't like to get into confrontation. If the questions are tough, harsh, we get up, we go somewhere, we find a place. Usually men will find a corner and they'll be happy. In my case, I cannot find a corner, so I have to get into the garage. अरे मुझे वो बाइक बनानी है यार, I'll forget otherwise.
वहाँ जाके कैंडी क्रश.
नहीं, कैंडी क्रश नहीं, फिर वो बाइक पे लग जाते हैं, because the bike never complains. Even if you do it wrong, I don't know why you're laughing. I'm serious. Has your bike ever complained?
ये कोड बनेगा आपके नाम से.
No, but that's how it is, And my wife now, even if I tell her, okay, let's go for a ride, she's like, no. गाड़ी में जाना है तो बात करो, बाइक में मैं नहीं जाने वाली. I'm like, happy, okay, I'll go for a ride and I'll come back.
Nice.
So if not confrontation, how does the ice break?
Sorry?
How does the ice break between you?
कि लड़ाई हो गई तो अभी
लड़ाई
end कैसे करते हो आप?
So initially, this I'm talking about 2010, 11. So initial that breaking in period. So at times she would get angry with me and she won't talk to me. She won't talk to me for 3, 4 days, 5 days. I was like, okay with it. Then she realized, if I fight, if I'm quiet, he's happier. The game plan changed. So now she
fights. बनने की जरूरत नहीं है, ठीक है?
She fights, or we fight. That's better way to put it. So whenever we fight, she goes outside, she comes back, and as if she never fought with me. I still have it, like, we had a fight. She's like, hardly matters. She's moving on in life,
आपको लगता है सिर्फ आप ही cool हो क्या? I am also cool as cucumber. नहीं, लेकिन
जिनकी दाढ़ी सफेद हो गई है, they know what they are doing. All the professional traders, yes, they'll keep trading. जो youngsters हैं, please FNO में मत घुसना, निकलना मुश्किल हो जाएगा. If you really want that thrill in life or जो adrenaline का rush चाहिए ना, do some other activity. Don't always go in, यार मैं 5,000 का लगाता हूँ, देखता हूँ क्या होगा. It's not for you. The professionals, yes, they can handle it, but other than that, have a lot of fun with stock.
keep it. It's not going anywhere.
FNO is knuckle ball.
FNO is different level altogether. You know, nowadays when you log into the whatever app you are using, first thing it says 90% of FNO users lose their money. मैं बोलता हूँ ये 10% बाकी कौन है? So basically those 10% are the ones who are eating the 90% of us. They are eating our money and they are making their money.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why I stopped.
आप चेजिंग माई बाई पे छोड़ देना.
क्रिकेट से कितने जल्दी हम शिफ्ट हो गए ना.
मैं वही देख रहा हूँ, आप क्रिकेट के बारे में इतने पैशनेट, स्टॉक के बारे में एकदम आपके अंदर से गुस्सा निकला.
नहीं यार, एफएनओ में लॉस होता है. आप स्टॉक की मैं बेस्ट बात बताता हूँ. आई लव सो बहुत ज्यादा मैं न्यूज चैनल नहीं देखता हूँ, बट स्टॉक के देखता हूँ सवेरे एक बार क्या हो रहा है, ग्लोबली क्या हो रहा है. सो लेट्स से आई हैव अ स्टॉक विच इज ए. तो जस्ट फॉर रेफरेंस कि मैंने 1000 रुपए में लिया था. सो इट गोज अप समवेयर इट हैज गॉन टू 1800. सो 1800 2000 होता है, देन इट कम्स बैक टू 1800. नाउ द नरेशन इज इस डिप पे ना खरीदना चाहिए. एंड आई एम लाइक 1000 के 1800 हो गए हैं. ये डिप पे जो खरीदेगा उसके बाद जो डिप आएगा वो कहाँ जाएगा?
ये है डिप पे खरीदने वाले ये.
सो आई ऑलवेज गेट वरीड कि ऑल टाइम हाई पे जब रिकमेंडेशन आती है ना, इसका आगे बहुत ब्राइट फ्यूचर है, अभी लेने का टाइम है. मतलब मैं नहीं ले रहा भाई. ये कहीं ये चांद पे भी चला जाए, मैं नहीं ले रहा. इट इज आउट ऑफ माई टारगेट सिस्टम. सो बट दैट्स हाउ इट इज. पीपल वांट टू राइड इट, बट at least with the stock, the great thing is the stock is in your account. You may have a loss 10, 15%, 20%, 25%, but if you have bought something that has the right fundamentals, you won't make big loss. You will get your money. FNO में खाता
नहीं लगाएंगे FNO में.
ये बोलेंगे भी स्टॉप लॉस जरूर रखना.
My bhai, did you learn any? What's the best?
You can give cricket any term that you want to. What we have seen is cricket has evolved. The way people are playing cricket is very different. जब बहुत पहले जब वनडे आया था तो समथिंग वाज कंसिडर्ड अ सेफ स्कोर. अब वो बोलते हैं यार ये तो 20 ओवर में भी सेफ नहीं है. So when you give something a term, it becomes much more interesting because you start talking about it, you start relating to it. But at the end of the day, what is it? It's a way to play cricket. Some people want to play aggressive cricket. Some people want to play authentic cricket. A lot of that depends on the kind of team you have got, whether they can change the way they play that cricket. It's something that is very important. Not if there's something that can be done, not everyone can do it. Like let's say somebody like a Bumrah, he can bowl 6 Yorkers. Imagine somebody who's not able to do that. If you still ask him, he may improve over a period of time, but he may end up giving a lot of runs till that point. So what is important is to realize the strength of your team, and according to the strength of the team, you decide which is the way you want to play cricket. Maybe you want to change the way you play cricket, but it takes time. It doesn't happen that overnight you decide, अच्छा कल से हम ऐसा करेंगे. It doesn't happen. So you need to give time to individuals because they have played maybe 10, 12, 15 years of cricket since they started, and they have a certain way of playing cricket. So you need to give them that time to change the way they play their cricket. Batsmen will try to score runs, but if there's no result in the nearest future, you're like, yaar ye khatam karke chalte hain na. Why do we need to be here? So I love the fact that in between, there's a big change in the way people started playing Test cricket. A lot of the wickets were very juicy wickets. So let's say, if you're playing in England, Australia, South Africa, the wickets were in favor of the bowler. In India, we used to play more on the spinning track, and that's the challenge that you have to face. And you knew that okay, if the game goes on till 4th or the 5th day, you will get a result. Imagine telling someone who doesn't know about cricket, we play over 5 days. We start at 9:30, 4:30 is the scheduled end of day's play, but we play till 5 o'clock, and after 5 days, sometimes we don't get a result. So that can be very, for the game, it's not very nice. So I love how there's more results in today's world. Even if you're playing only 4 days of cricket and if one day gets washed out, more often than not, still you'll get a result. So that's the beauty of Test cricket. and I feel that's how it should stay. You know, you want to get a result after 5 days, you shouldn't have a draw.
राइट जब आप रिटायर हो रहे थे उस टाइम पे यू मस्ट हैव गॉट मिक्स फीलिंग्स एज पर माय आइडिया कि यार एक है कि हम इस गेम के किंग हैं, अभी और खेलना है, अभी थोड़ी ये फीलिंग है. एक साइड होगा यार आई वुड मिस दिस गेम मच, एक साइड होगा नहीं अभी मुझे नहीं खेलना है, वुड बी डन. हाउ वुड यू कम आउट ऑफ दोज मिक्स फीलिंग्स एंड अभी इतने टाइम बाद लाइक हाउ डू यू फील आफ्टर दैट?
Well, you know, it is always very difficult to take a decision like that, because whatever I have got or cricketers we get in our life, it is predominantly because of cricket. That's amongst the only things, you know, that we know how it needs to be done or what needs to be done. So it's always difficult, but if you pick the right reasons why you need to do it, in the sense why you need to leave it, it becomes quite easy to take a big decision like that. So it wasn't very difficult for me. So in my mind, I'd actually retired after the 2019 World Cup, you know, because after that the next World Cup was too far away. If I'm not wrong, they just delayed the T20 World Cup by a year. So next year was the T20 World Cup. So I was like, you know, there's no rush of announcing a retirement, but in my mind and in my actions, I was done. So effectively, if you ask me when did I retire, I retired in the 2019, you know, World Cup semi-finals. You know, for me that was the end.
And then later was a decision that you finally took.
वो तो announcement हुआ ना, decision तो पहले हो गया था. It was more an announcement for everyone, you know, that finally the closure has happened. You know,
वो वीडियो एडिट होने में भी टाइम लग गया.
रेंडर हो रहा था,
लंबा वीडियो था वो.
हाँ, थोड़ा इंटरनेट स्लो था.
थैंक यू सो मच. थैंक यू.
I think golf is very different, you know, because I also play golf and I've realized मेरा जो क्रिकेट का गेम है ना, इट्स वेरी डिफरेंट. सो फॉर मी आई हैव टू हिट द बॉल हार्ड. गोल्फ में यू आर नॉट सपोज टू हिट द बॉल हार्ड. You use the club, and if you want to hit longer, you use a different club. You know, so you basically have a nice swing. The club does the trick for you. मेरा वैसा नहीं, मैंने जोर से मारना. So even if I tell myself, you know, कि नहीं बॉल रखा है, just swing, have a normal swing and hit the ball, it will go.
बट उसमें मजा आता है सर, जेन्युइनली मजा आता है, ईमानदारी.
नहीं, मजा आता है. फर्स्ट इनिशियली आई थॉट इट्स अ वेरी बोरिंग स्पोर्ट.
Yeah.
Then I played. So basically you are fighting against yourself. You know, whatever, let's say, you know, you finish the game in